We wanted to thank our police officers. We couldn't write notes yesterday, it was our Sabbath, but we obviously are so grateful that it wasn't any more tragic than it already was. And that's because of our first responders. That's because of our great police officers here in the city. We're so lucky and so grateful. And the kids heard the sirens in our synagogue down the block, and we just told them that's the sound of people saving your life. And we're so grateful.
It's obviously very emotional and touches so close to home.
Absolutely.
How do you explain this to your children?
I said, a crazy man did a terrible, hateful thing. And there are terrible, hateful people everywhere, but we're lucky we live in a place where our policemen care about us and they come right away. We're so lucky that we're here when this happened and not somewhere else where possibly people could still be shooting. But here in our city, we're not going to let that happen.
On Shabbat, you can walk right into synagogue. That's what this person did.
Our synagogue went into lockdown when we were in services. We weren't allowed to leave, and the kids all came in they have groups in the morning. The kids all came in, so we were in one central location.
Did you know what was happening right away?
Well, none of us use electronics on our Sabbath. None of us have access to our cell phones or television or computers. So it was an interesting day to have a tragedy because, after the Sabbath and when the sun went down, our phones were just buzzing nonstop of people who had been waiting all day to hear if we were okay, if we were caught in the crossfire. And it was hard to not be able to get back to them all day. But we believe our Sabbath is above all, and we didn't pick up our phones.
You do not belong to this synagogue. You go to
No.
another. Do you know some of the congregants?
We do. We know a lot of the victims, and it's just very sad and awful. And even my autistic brother lost a friend, and that's just tragic and senseless. In addition to anti-Semitic, and our community is a place that's so loving and respectful of one another and of different faiths, but also to the special needs community. How could he do such a thing?
Is there a message that you pass on to your kids beyond the thank yous to the first responders, but about the fact that your community was just targeted in this way?
That's not what we look at. We don't look at the negative. We're looking at the positive, and we're keeping it positive that the policemen are here for us and they're there for us, and they will continue to be there for us.